So what do you do when there's an ice storm you didn't plan for and you're stuck? Well, you go to the grocery store. So this weekend with the ice storm we're going to have here, we're going to try a couple of different online suggested items for how to take care of ice. So I've got a couple of different types of cat litter. I've got some washing soda. I have pickling salt, and we've got a big driveway, and we are going to try different things on different spots of the driveway, and we're going to see what works and what doesn't. And we're headed to a place that thinks they may have pool salt, and so we're going to try and get a box of that. So stick around and see what works in an emergency for your ice melting needs. So it is 7:45, and the ice storm has started. So it's time to try and prep the deck. The deck is already iced over, as you can see, and so I am going to try to prep the deck for the storm. Now I have a bunch of chemicals. I've got some soap. And fertilizer, and I really don't want any of those on the deck, especially with the kids coming in and out, and not to mention I don't want fertilizer being tracked into the Airbnb that we're staying in. So I'm going to put kitty litter down, and we're going to see how that works. And I got a couple different types of kitty litter. I'm imagining it's going to be traction, but it may also help with the ice a little bit. And so let's go give it a shot. And I'll tell you what, that driveway is already slick. So, let's see. Okay. So I'll admit, I have done absolutely no research on how much you put down or anything like that. So I'm just kind of winging this, and that's probably a mistake, but what else are we going to do, right? We have an experiment. I got 2 days to experiment, so we're gonna see what happens. And I can tell you what, already I can feel there's quite a bit of grip difference, if nothing else, with this clumping stuff. So now let's take a look at this. Back in a second. Scissors. So these are apparently pine pellets, and I didn't know what that meant, so I don't think that this is going to be as good grip. Yeah, that's definitely not as much grip. So I was going to do a test on the steps, but I think that in safety, I'm going to go ahead and put this sand type stuff down on the steps. got this side is a clumping litter, and this side is pine nuggets. And I didn't realize what that was. I'm not too sure that the pine nuggets are going to really do much. They, in fact, I think are going to provide more slippage. Okay, that task is done. Ready? We'll see what it looks like in the morning. Okay, well, it is Sunday morning. The original forecast had us getting ice all night long, starting about 10 p.m. And we got a little bit of ice and a little bit of snow, but it looks like we did not get what I think they were expecting. So let's go out and check things out. The kids have been out quickly because when puppies got to go, they got to go. There's no filming of that. Then check the deck and check the rock salt I put down last night. And then I'm going to do a little work outside to clear the path off, because we've got about 2 hours, or 2 to 3 hours of freezing rain coming. We're going to get a break of 2 to 3 hours, and then we're going to have 6 hours of freezing rain, and then they're projecting that may be it. So we're certainly not out of the woods yet, but we've got things are a little bit better than the almost 20 hours straight of precipitation that they were originally expecting for this area. So let's take a look. Okay, well, we can see the snow on the deck. Let's see. Well, it's going to sweep a little bit, and if you're asking me why I'm doing this, we're supposed to get up to 38 or 39 tomorrow before it freezes down to like 9. So if I can get all of this off, even if there's a little sheet of ice left, I put a little kitty litter down, and the sun coming in tomorrow should make it so that the driveway and stuff gets kind of gets passable. My big concern also is this turning into a sheet of ice, and the kids needing to go out at 2 a.m. and us hitting it and going, what's the word? Yes. Trying to control the dogs. And so some of you are probably asking, why am I doing this? It's just snow. You can shovel it when it gets done. Problem is that I've got a couple of winters experience here where we get the snow ice snow combination, and if you walk on the snow or put any pressure on it and combine with ice, it turns into a solid sheet of ice, and it's really hard to get up and it's really hard to melt. The other thing is that I have a phobia about not being able to get someplace I need to get to, right? The worry that something could happen to Andrew, one of the kids, and we'd need to get out to some sort of medical care, and not being able to get out into the road would just really worries me. So I try and make it so that I know that I've got a reasonable path to getting out on the road. So what I'm going to do is I'm scraping most of the snow off, and then we're going to put a variety of different chemical agents down, because what we're supposed to be getting over the next couple of hours and the rest of the day is ice. And so I'm going to put a couple of different prep treatments down, including some fertilizer. The water softener salts worked really, really well. They're really big crystals, but they worked really, really well. So I'm going to put those up by the truck because I don't want them getting into the grass as much as I can. Don't want the dog paws on it. So I'm going to kind of separate that. I'm going to put the fertilizer down here in the section where when it runs off, it'll just run into the grass. So I'm trying to make as little mess for the as I can here in the rental. So let's go take a look at what I have up front, and we'll keep working. Okay, so you can see this just came off really, really nicely. This is where I put some of the water softener salts, and here's a big chunk of them, and you can see, right, that I do this, and it's kind of difficult. Yeah, it's not difficult, but I come here, and it just slides so much more. So. Okay, this is water softener salt, and it worked pretty good yesterday, so I'm going to put that down up here near the truck. I also have some pickling salt that I'm going to put down maybe on the other side. So let's see. Okay, so this is pickling and canning salt, which is just sodium chloride. So it's a little more paw safe. It's still not great, but it's better than the potassium chloride that's here. So I'm going to put this, I think, on the porch to test that out, because the big pine nuggets didn't work very well. Over here this afternoon, once it stops icing, I'm going to put the kitty litter grip down. That worked really, really well, but the problem is that as soon as more ice fell on it, then it stopped working. It's like sand. So that's after the storm is done thing. I don't know that it helped much with melting. So this looks pretty good. I've got it up here. I put a bunch of the I put a bunch of the water softener salt out on the road to see how that does with snow, and I think we're done. In the back I'm going to put some wash soda down. Now, baking soda is one of the things that Bob Vila said you could do. Wash soda is also good, so I'm going to put a little chunk of that down, a little chunk of this down on the pavement so that we get an apples to apples comparison. So let's go ahead and move to the back of the truck. Okay, so I have some fertilizer. I've got the super wash soda that's sliding on the ice, and I have the pickling salt. So I'm gonna take a couple 1-foot sections down there and try it, and see what works best. After doing some more research on the fertilizer I had chosen, I've decided not to use it for this test. I'm not sure if it's because I got a really high nitrogen content, but the warnings on the back about runoff into lakes and streams, putting it on pavement, using it during growing times of the year, and the potential for hurting the lawn if I didn't apply it correctly, just made me decide that there was just too much risk. Okay. We're going to see how this works over here. Okay. I'm cold. It's coffee time. Okay, it's about 1:45, and I finished up doing the prep work at 10, so it's been about 4 hours, so I thought I'd take a look and see how things are looking at what I put down. So first thing to do is to see that the where I put the pickling salt down has definitely cut down on the snow. You can see that it's made it kind of slushy, and that looks pretty good. So I may put that down here on the steps going forward. This is not pulling up. This is a pretty good sheet of ice here. So we've had just enough to make it really, really hard. What is nice powder this morning is now frozen over. It's pretty solid ice. Now, let's see. You can see the yellow there is the washing powder, and that's had almost no effect. But where I put that rock, or where I put that pickling salt, that definitely has done the trick. You can see that's melted that pretty good. Let's come up here. Under the truck looks really good. That's nice. If we don't get any rain that then freezes, that means hopefully we'll be able to get this beast out in the morning. And oh, look at this. That has kept that nice. You can see the big salt clumps there doing their thing. And that's gonna, tomorrow morning, that'll come and dry out with the sun really nicely. Over here, where I put the salt in, you can see that's melting a little bit. We get a little sun on that tomorrow morning, and that'll be a little softer there. So all in all, no surprise, salt works best. The potassium chloride stuff has doing a pretty good job, but the pickling salt also worked pretty good for not much. So if you were in a real pickle, no pun intended, you could use that and get that at the grocery store, and that was still available on the shelves without too many problems even late yesterday. So not a lot of people were thinking about that. So for small areas or a lot of boxes, that pickling salt might be the go-to way to go, because then it also has a shelf reuse for other things. You can eat it. It's not hazardous to store, and not super environmentally unfriendly. So it turns out, after doing some research, that potassium chloride is actually better for vegetation and less hazardous to the pavement than sodium chloride. Let's go back inside. It's still cold out here. Neither cat litter provided much in the way of melting assistance, but I did find that the clumping kitty litter did do a really great job of providing some additional traction. The pine nut kitty litter just made it more slick, so I wouldn't recommend that. So thanks for watching our little experiment on an emergency ice melt solution. I think that obviously salts and form of salts seem to work the best. The challenge, of course, with non-paw safe salt is that, well, it's not paw safe. So if you're around animals or you're in wooded areas, right, you probably want to think about what you're putting down and how much if there are animals around. I was kind of surprised by the potassium chloride. It did really, really well. I was also really surprised after looking that it is actually a little more ecologically sensitive in terms of foliage than the sodium chloride. But I wasn't able to find any research on impact to hands and skin and animals. So I think, again, you want to be pretty careful. The fertilizer... Bob Vila said that was okay to use, but when maybe it was because I got really high nitrogen fertilizer, but the warnings on misapplying it were pretty stringent on the back of the bag, so I didn't use that, but know that if you really get in the pickle, Bob Vila said it's okay, so it must be true. Finally, last but not least, the washing soda kind of did its job a little bit, but it took several days, and it was definitely not working down to the temperatures that the salt was. So I have a feeling that if you go look up baking soda or washing soda, it only lowers the melting point a couple degrees. It doesn't get you down to like 15 or 12 degrees like the salt solutions do. But I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and stay warm.
I've been so many places, I've seen them all with open eyes. Seen islands, open spaces, Serengeti sun slowly rise. All these memories, I hold them near me when I sail the Aegean Sea. There's one place for me. Take me to the place where I come from, the only place where I really belong. Take me 'cause this voyage seems so long. Back to you. Ooh. Back to you.